Hello and welcome to Regent Park, the past, the present, and the future. My name is Titi Lola and I will be hosting this series. This show discusses the history of the Regent Park area. We will be sharing stories from lived experiences by former and present Regent Parkers. Join me as we learn about the old and new Regent Park. Do not miss it. Welcome to Regent Park, the past, the present, and the future. My name is Titi Lola, and I'm your host for today. The aim of this show is to discuss the changing nature of the Regent Park area. Here with me today is our lovely guest, Samira Mohamud. You're welcome to the show today.
Thank you very much.
Great. So great to have you here. I would like to start by, learning about your background, where you're from. Would you like to tell us about that?
So I was born here. I was born in Regent Park.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. I've been here for a very long time. My mom's Somali, so I have a Somali background. So that's about it for where I'm from.
Oh, that's great. So you lived here. You grew up in the Regent Park area. I'd like to know more about that. Can you tell me more about growing up here?
So it's crazy because we moved a couple times within Regent Park.
Oh.
So when my mom had first got married, she moved here. I was born 600 Dundas, which it doesn't exist anymore because they broke everything down. I'm not exactly sure what's there now. It's near the Aquatic Center. So we moved a couple times, and I don't know where I was going with that. All my memories are from Regent Park. All of them. Even though we've moved about 3 years ago, I still work in the community. I went to school in the neighborhood. I went to Jarvis. So I've grown up with the same people, and I may be biased, but I think it's pretty great here. I think it's pretty cool. That's just my opinion.
How did you feel growing up in the Regent Park area?
I mean, I know in early 2000s, there was a lot of stuff going on.
Stuff like what?
There's a lot of violence and a lot of stuff going on, but at the same time, I don't feel like it didn't directly impact me because my mom she did such a good job, raising me and my brother. She's a single mom, and so we were always in programs, and we're always so busy that day to day, I didn't know what was going on growing up.
Right.
I wasn't aware of it. You know what I mean? It was just my community. It was just my parks. What else did we used to do? Going to swimming. I feel like a very regular, childhood, very regular upbringing.
So, okay, I get that. So how would you describe the area?
The area?
Yes, growing up.
I think growing up, it wasn't, like I said, I didn't notice a lot.
I mean, structurally, it looks different right now.
It does look a lot different now.
Exactly.
I think it's prettier, of course. It looks nice, but the old buildings, I feel like they had character. There's a little bit we knew those buildings. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's a sense of familiarity. You grew up with your neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
And you grew up with the same people down the hall, and it was just there was just a strong sense of community. And I remember growing up things during Ramadan, cooking extra food for other people, and then we would switch, we'd trade, we'd go and bring it down to them, knock on their door, Ramadan Kareem, give them some food, and they'd come. It was really nice.
Right.
I don't feel like I have that same sense of community where I live now, but because we're here all the time for work and my brother's here for school, I don't feel like I miss out on that. I'm still part of this vibrant community that's Regent Park.
So did you have any maybe experiences or any knowledge of some of the issues that some of the residents were dealing with in the Regent Park area? Yes.
I mean, besides the buildings not performing the way buildings are supposed to perform because they were so old, personally, I can't think of anything. My mom worked very hard to keep it that way. She was very, she did her best to give us the safety and security, the security of never having to worry about anything. I never have to think about things money and like nothing at all growing up. I know there were times where she struggled, like in my adulthood now, I know that it must have been really difficult having 2 kids on her own in Regent Park. And you know, but I feel like we were very sheltered, like I went to school, you know, we went home, we went to other programs, it was very regular. We didn't do much. So some of the issues, I can't specifically pinpoint that I can remember.
So when you say the houses were not performing like houses are supposed to perform, what do you mean by that? What were some of the issues with the houses?
I just remember like my mom having to call maintenance a lot, you know what I mean? To come fix things, and they weren't always, like seeing in some of the new units that some of my friends live in, because we haven't moved back yet or anything, but seeing some of the new units, it's nicer, like the units are nicer, you know what I mean? And when things feel good, they feel good, I don't know.
Right, I understand that.
Yeah, this is better.
Right. Okay, so I'd like you to tell me one story about living in Regent Park that you will never forget in your life.
I will never forget.
Yes.
I feel like I should have prepared for this. I don't know about like one thing that stands out. But there's just like a lot of feelings when I think about Regent Park, just because I don't know anything else. Like I don't know another community, because I spent my whole 20 years more or less in Regent Park, you know. It's just home. Like I don't know.
And how did you feel when you had to leave home?
It was complicated. It was really like complex, because I was in grade 12. I was 18. So it was just a big year of change for us. I was leaving high school, my brother's leaving elementary school, my mom was starting a new job. Like, it was just a lot of change. So it just kind of got mixed into there. And I think Regent Park will always still be home, because I'm here every single day. For a good 8 hours every day, I'm here. My friends all live here. My mom works here, my brother goes to school here. It'll always be home. We go back to where we live to sleep, and we eat and we hang out there, and then in the morning when we wake up, we come back here every morning. You know what I mean? So like Regent Park is just a warm place. It's a place I always love, because it's very vibrant, it's very diverse, all sorts of people. I've learned a lot from all the people that I got to grow up with, because everyone's different, and I think a lot of people don't get that they don't get to learn that early on, that as different as everyone is, everyone still has something to share, and you can learn from anyone.
That's right.
So being in such a diverse community, I think is really cool to be able to learn from people. I think that's a good life skill that growing up here has given me.
That's great.
Yeah.
So now that the Regent Park area is a mixed income community, how do you feel about that?
I'm not sure. I mean, you see a lot of different faces now. Like you see a lot of people that weren't here before, and I think it's cool that they get to partake in our community. They get to see a little snapshot of Regent Park. We're not stigmatized the way we were before. It's not seen as, you know, a violent neighborhood. It's not seen as a place like the way it was early 2000s, the way that people used to view it. So I think it's changed. It's not a stereotype anymore, which is pretty cool. And then they get to take part too in our community. They get to take part in our food markets and all the other stuff that we have to offer. You know, it's pretty cool that they get to see, that everyone gets to see and take part in and join, you know what I mean? Because they have stuff that they can bring as well. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone has something that they can share. And we can all learn from each other, which is pretty cool. So opening the doors to people that didn't live here before, or maybe wouldn't have, that way it just broadens it, you know what I mean? It diversifies it even more.
Right.
Which is cool.
So how do you feel about the changes now?
Now?
Yes. The new buildings, the roads, you know.
I think it looks fine. I think things are always changing, like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And we have to be adaptable. We
Right.
have to realize that as long as they're changing and we can still hold on to the core things that keep us Regent Park, then why not?
How would you feel about coming back to
Coming
Regent
back?
Park to live?
To live? I don't know. I haven't really thought about it.
Okay.
Because we're always here. We're always here. It would be a lot more convenient. I mean, I wouldn't have to buy Metro Pass. That'd be really cool. But
Right.
I wouldn't mind. I like Regent Park. I've always loved Regent Park. It will always be my home. You know what I mean? It's weird. 20 years,
Yeah,
every day, I've been here.
I can imagine.
Mm-hmm. That's a very long time.
Yes, it is. Thank you so
No
much
problem.
for sharing your story. It was very lovely to have you here today.
Mhm. Thank
And,
you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you for interviewing me.
You're
I
welcome.
really appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning in to Regent Park, the past, the present, and the future. I remain your host, Titi Lola. Until next time, bye-bye.